Moving on now, while rain and drought are almost always concerns for local producers, news this last week has certainly brought the topic to the minds of many.
While we could certainly use more rain here, we wanted to know more about where exactly things stand. So joining us now is Eric Hunt with Nebraska Extension. Nice to have you here today, Eric.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah. So Thursdays, the drought monitor is released. What kind of rainfall would it take for the state to be completely out of a drought at this point?
Well, we need to keep raining for the remainder of the summer, and we would need a wetter fall than we've had in several years for us to be completely free of drought across the entire state. But we've made really good progress here in the last 2 months. 2 months ago, we had over half the state in severe drought. Now we just have half the state in drought. A good portion of that is just considered moderate drought, so we only have a small portion, about 12% of the state, that's technically in severe drought. And those areas have been getting some rain here in the last couple of weeks. But I would probably make a point that even a lot of areas that are technically in abnormal dryness, there's not a lot of margin for error in terms of deeper soil moisture. So if we did go over bone dry for 10 days, you would see some impacts to crops.
Okay, so we have been seeing some flooding. What does that mean for producers? I mean, as we go on through the season?
Well, you certainly don't want flooding any time of year. And if you have floods early in the season, that could mean replanting. Certainly you could have a lack of oxygen in the soil, something you basically would have to replant. Flooding this time of year may entirely wipe you out depending on how bad it is.
Yeah.
I know from fires and red flag warnings early this year now to recent flooding. Where do you see things going maybe in terms of the rest of the year now as far as heat and moisture?
Well, the good news is the faucet's not going to shut off, at least not in the near term. We probably will still have pretty good chance of precipitation here for the next couple of weeks. And the models have really not done a very good job at showing the moisture we have got in the summer. I mean, there was definitely a strong, warm, dry signal that was expected this summer in this part of the country. And to a large extent, that hasn't really panned out. I would expect August may be a little bit drier. I mean, certainly the last 4 or 5 Augusts have not been particularly wet in this part of the country. So recent precedent would suggest that maybe it shuts off a little bit more in August, but I kind of think we're going to be okay with moisture. The heat probably will be with us occasionally, but I don't see any major heat waves on the horizon, at least not in the near term. The pattern is still pretty active, and I think we are the beneficiaries of getting more northwesterly flow, which means we will get continued chances of thunderstorms every so often and some cooler temperatures occasionally.
Can you give us an idea of what things are going to be like over the next 2 weeks or so?
Yeah, next 2 weeks will be kind of in and out of the heat. It'll be a little bit warmer early this next week, but we'll cool off nicely as we get into next week, later this next week. And we should have pretty good chances of moisture most of the state, probably Tuesday into Wednesday. And potentially, the setup may be favorable for some areas in this part of the country to have excessive precipitation.
Yeah, it does seem like we've been getting more rain this year than in years past, especially last year.
Well, last year we had a lot of rain in the spring and early summer, particularly across portions of northeastern Nebraska, and it completely shut off for a while in the fall. And then we got some in November, but yeah, we really were very dry for about a 6 to 9 month period. Started picking back up here in the last couple of months, which is the timing of that was perfect for agriculture.
All right.
Good stuff. All right, Eric, thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.